You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by Referral Mortgages and Blue Panda Realty, with your hosts, Paul Stevenson, David Warren, and Greg Campbell. Let's see what's going on in the world of real estate in our nation's capital.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy
morning.
Friday, end of July.
Good morning.
We're back. My name is Paul Stevenson. I'm one of the hosts of the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast. I'm also an owner over at Referral Mortgages. I'm here. I'm at the office. I'm at Referral Mortgages. I'm also a mortgage agent. Greg Campbell's here. He is a partner and an expert realtor at Blue Panda Realty. And as always, we are joined by my business partner, good friend, brother, David Warren. He's also an owner here at Referral. He's a mortgage agent. He's an ace. And we just want to say a quick shout out. Let's give a shout out to producer Steve as well. We have an amazing producer, helps us with all our shows. You guys think about doing a podcast? Holler at us. We'll connect you with Stephen. He can do his production magique with you as well. And last shout out just to our sponsor, North Brew Coffee. Hit up northbrew.ca. Check them out. Locally owned, operated. They're doing good things. Put in the promo code podcast. You're going to get 20% off your coffee orders. Gentlemen, how's the week? How's the week, gents?
Great week. Got a lot done. I'm heading out of town. I feel like we talk about cottages a lot here on the show. Like I'm leaving again. I've had the opportunity to be able to leave more this year, and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm actually going offline completely for 5 days, and I don't remember the last time that was even a thing. So I'm really looking forward to that.
And you're going truly offline.
I'm going truly offline. I'm putting my phone, I'm leaving it in the glove box off, and I'm not opening my computer. So the one thing that I did forget to do, because usually at the cottage I wake up before everybody and I just do some work or I catch up on news or whatever. But this time, so I'm going to buy a couple of books on the way out here. Because
what are these books you speak of?
I can't remember. I think I'm reading, what was it? Your Next 5 Moves, Patrick Bet-David. And then there's something else. I think it's called Launch. Just about startups. Anyways, just cool things. You know me, I like to read the nonfiction business stuff. I keep my fiction to film.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I was saying it the other day is that I just can't wrap my head around reading a fictional book. I get it. And I brought this up with someone who's, a pretty avid reader once. And I said, I'm just all about the facts. I'd rather read the facts than the fiction, And he said, when you're reading fiction, it oftentimes forces you to reflect on yourself. And there's some growth there as well, because you relate to the characters. You kind of subconsciously put yourself into their position. And how would I approach this? How would I answer that question, et cetera? So
it's a very good point, Paul.
Mm-hmm. I still haven't read a fictional book in years, but it was a great point either way. I stuck with the facts.
If you were going to read one.
Yeah, if I was going to read one, I mean, I can use that as an incentive.
My mind is like a life of fiction. I think there's so much fiction. I create things in my mind that's enough for me. Reading would just...
That's the Gemini in us. That's the Gemini in us. We're too creative for fictional books, We need to create our own fiction. Oh, David, how was your week? How's everything buzzing over there?
Good. Week definitely flew by.
It did.
I don't understand that today is Friday and that it is a long weekend. I really found that out this morning. Yeah. No, it was good. It was a pretty busy week. Actually, some offers with conditions, which were nice. So kind of getting those to the finish line yesterday. And, but yeah, no, overall, no complaints.
So Monday's actually Colonel By Day, if anyone's wondering, the holiday. I believe it's Colonel By. So Greg, as your, can you say alma mater when it's high school?
Alum,
but
I guess.
You're an alum. You're an alum. Good news came out yesterday. Bank of Canada, old Tiff Macklem. He's the governor, Bank of Canada governor. He has said that he said to the Financial Post that the Bank of Canada remains firmly committed to keeping inflation low, stable, and predictable. So you can be confident that we will keep the cost of living under control as the economy reopens. So I think that was a lot of people's fear that, they had said end of 2022, but it's easier said than done. You know, some people I think thought that once we started opening up and things were kind of rolling back to normal, that they might use that as an opportunity to kind of bump up rates. But it's nice to see that they're kind of holding the line per se, and you know, they're going to keep things low and allow people to kind of get their feet back on the ground that have had, you know, some financial hardships over the last couple of years, which I think is great news to be coming out.
I was watching, I was reading something. No, what was I doing? I was listening to something in the US where they were saying, I guess there was some type of, program for renters or homeowners where they could delay payments or something. And the conversation went where when some things, okay, guys, thanks, where some things would, that as of August 1st, I guess everything goes back to normal. And he's saying there's companies waiting to just like jump in, foreclose, buy them out, and then rent them back to them at, double the price or whatever.
Yeah, I think the states up until, I think August, I don't know if it's been extended or not. There was talks in the States, but a moratorium on evictions. And those, yes. I think that's to be lifted. Yeah, I think for August 1st unless it got extended. I know there was a push. So that'll be interesting in the States to see how that affects things.
So nobody could be evicted, you're saying?
Correct.
It was a kind of
No, they can be now.
Yeah. As of, I think it's August 1st that's lifting. But it was a nationwide moratorium by the federal government for evictions. So I think, to your point, Greg, it'll be interesting to see how that affects the market in the US and whether people actually can pay their bills in the States.
That would be interesting, Greg.
We're not an American show, though. Why did I bring that up?
No.
We're Canadian. We're Ottawa focused. How's Ottawa doing? What are we seeing, Greg? What are you seeing out there?
I mean, I had a good week I did a couple of big deals, and I've been working on them for months. So it was actually emotional and very exciting. I was happy to have these just have these things completed in my life, and I think the clients were too. But I mean, the market's rolling, man. It's, we're seeing homes selling over list, but they're listed lower than what they would have been months ago. We're seeing way more properties on the market. Average days on market is, I think we said it last week, is getting closer to 30 now, depending on what type of property it is and where it is. It's a way more traditional summer. I love it. But I'm meeting with sellers and they're like, what do we do? And I'm like, you missed what that was, so you might not get that extra 50K now. But it's just balancing out very quickly here. So, I mean, like right now, even in Orleans, there's like, what did I see yesterday? I think there's 31 row homes on the market in Orleans. It's a lot to choose from. I mean, it's a big spread from mid 1980s, 1990s, 2000s, 2010, 2020, right? But still overall, like that's a lot of property to look at.
I've been seeing a lot of, recently I've had a lot of people migrating here from out west. Like I've had, Greg, I know we have a mutual client that's in kind of Vancouver area. I have a few people that are moving here from Calgary. So it seems like Ottawa is still very much a destination for people from outside the city as well. So these are, all things that are kind of, I think as we continue towards September, October, we're going to see, as I said before, I just think we're going to see more competition again. I think we're going to see people flood to the market thinking that prices have balanced. And then at that point, it'll be a little late again. People will be maybe taking their house off the market for the winter.
And that's a very good point. Like I've told my buyers that I'm working with right now that it'd be a really good time to consider shopping because it's unpredictable what's going to happen in the fall. If it is a regular fall market, like we haven't seen in years, then it's just going to be like after that first week in September, it could go nuts again. So I'm with you 100% on that. Like anyone, who wants to buy and is ready to go should definitely be a little bit more active right now because there's way more opportunities.
We're the cottage camping lull right now. We're the summer lull.
Yeah.
That's really it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love it. But
we have I know there's a special app that Greg you want to talk about. We do have a question here from Nicholas. He says, "Hey guys," he says, "I don't recall you talking about bully offers. Are they a good idea? We actually just won a house by competing with another buyer who went in on a bully offer. Are they something that people should be using, or are they as taboo as the name makes them sound?"
It depends. I did one last week and I won. And we went in we went in 60 over. It was a bully offer day before offer day. Another offer came in and we got it. It's a conversation. It's case by case. You have to make sure your agent knows what's up with the property. He's in conversation with the listing agent, and just make your decision based on that. But generally, no one's going to look at a bully offer unless it's at least 50,000 over.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of months ago, no one would look at a bully offer unless it was 100 over.
Mm-hmm.
Like there'd be no way. You'd wait till offer day because there was tons of people showing. So I mean, 50 over is your thing. But then what happens is, let's say in the current market, let's say you submit a bully offer 50 over and you just get it. There's no other offers that come in. Are you happy with that? As long as you're happy paying that extra 50, some people will want to submit a bully offer, but then we're kind of like, you know what? I don't know if this house is gonna do that. And then offer day comes, no other offers. You get the house for list or a little bit over list, or you submit at list price and then they counter you with what your bully offer would have been because that's what they were expecting. So you just really got to know what's going on with the neighborhood, with the house, with the agent.
The amount of traction it's getting.
What kind of traction? Is there a pre-inspection? Again, I could talk about this for days. The one that we got had a pre-inspection, had everything in order. My guys were just like, let's go for it. And that's the thing. And actually, this pre-inspection topic can get into that new thing we're going to talk about in a second too. So,
yeah, well, I was reading an article this morning actually about how to win a bidding war on a home, and one of the things they spoke about was kind of putting in a clean offer. But the second one was putting down a strong deposit. So I'm just wondering, Greg, when you're talking to clients, like what's kind of your advice typically on maybe just explain to people what a deposit is, because for anyone who hasn't bought a home, they might not understand what that aspect is. So maybe explain the deposit and then how you advise clients on what number to put on that line.
Yeah, whenever you buy a house, you put down a deposit as a show of good faith. Basically saying that you're committed to buying the house. Of course, if the deal fell through, if there was a conditional period, you get the deposit back. It's basically just like, I have some money. I really like your house. Here you go. And it's all transferred towards the final purchase price at closing. So you're not losing anything by putting it in. And, when the market was wild, definitely if there was two offers on the table and one had a $50,000 deposit and one had a $10,000 deposit, it's kind of like, and they're both $100,000 over list, then it puts the seller's mind and the realtor's mind at ease that, these people are well prepared to go through with to be able to acquire the home. But the flip side to that too, it's kind of like, well, does it really matter if you have a pre-approval letter as well? That's positive. But I think it's the idea that if you have money, things are going to run smoother for you, and it's going to run smoother. And it's not really necessary. I mean, in Toronto, I know they do deposits like 50 grand up to 100,000 sometimes to help acquire a property in a bidding war. But in Ottawa, I mean, you might get, I had one last year that was 50,000. Did they need to do it? They didn't. Their price was still well above the last one. They didn't need the 50 grand, but we were happy to have it. And they had the money in the bank. So why not? It's all, it's just kind of like it's holding their house.
It all contributes to their down payment anyways.
Exactly.
Right? So it's not doing anything, but the deposit, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, is it's also if the buyer does not close on that property, if they try to do something and they back out, the deposit is held in limbo until the legalities of, who sues who is kind of strained out as well. Correct? Like that's
exactly. So that's the thing. If you have a 20K deposit in and you don't close, that 20K is just held until everything is resolved of how much you're going to have to pay in penalties for that homeowner to put their house back on the market, realtor fees, utilities, all sorts of nasty stuff. You don't not want to close. And the other problem is if you put down a $5,000 deposit, you don't close, then you might be going to court later for any balance versus costs after the fact.
Yeah. So that was going to be my follow-up question. If you're advising sellers, I mean, all those things make a difference, right? That extra, we talked about this maybe a couple months ago, that letter, the personal note. Hey, we're a young family, young couple, older couple looking to do this, like that note with the personal touch combined with the maybe slightly larger deposit. If you're going to give 10,000, maybe make it 12 or 15, just to make it that little bit more attractive, because you just never know when the sellers are analyzing those offers with their real estate agent, what sort of things are going to be that deciding factor, right? Like that extra 2,000-3,000 on your deposit might be the difference between literally getting the home or not. So what are those discussions like with yourself, Greg, on the seller side? Like, do you really put a lot of weight into those sorts of things, or is it more just feel as far as offers come in?
The letters work from time to time. I think that they will start working again a bit more now. In multiples of this past year, money talks.
Yeah.
You've got a nice letter and, oh, what a great couple. They're perfect for this house. And then they're at 600,000 and you got another one at 7. What are you going to do? You're going to go for the $700,000 offer, right? So, I mean, now whenever we do any offers, I recommend it. Just depends on the scenario too. Depends on who the seller is. I mean, if it's someone just flipping a property, it's not going to be as effective as someone who's selling a lifelong home. You're going to want to use it for that for sure. But I mean, the last one that we did, I laid it out. We didn't have a letter ready, but I've been working with them for so long and I knew the agent. He's like, tell me about your clients. And I laid it out and he's like, so they sound like people that I would have a beer with. And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he's like, my clients love the idea and their friends lived across the street. So it was like, it was good. I don't even know if the other offer might have even been higher. I don't know. But anyways.
Well, I mean, the thing about those houses is that, they're all unreserved until that offer is accepted.
So unreserved.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. What is this?
Great. Good one, Paul. I like that. So I don't know if a lot of people haven't heard of this. It's been pretty hilarious to me, actually, in the realtor space, in the realtor Facebook groups, just the rumblings of Unreserved. What is it? I remember I saw the first sign up, I guess it was 2 weeks ago in Stittsville. I think that's the one that actually just sold. So what it is it's the model is it's an auction house. Basically, they work with you and there's no blind bidding. So you see exactly what the bids are and you can either just bow out or you can compete. Now there's a few things that I saw and I think it's great. Like anything that disrupts the industry is great because there's going to be a ton of people out there being like, oh, this will never last. This is illegal. They can't do this. Talk to the real estate board. There's got to be some laws and rules violated here. This is nonsense. Traditional real estate, get these guys out of here. And then it's like, people like me, I'm like, this is incredible. This is good because it gets people off their ass. It gets people thinking about our industry, thinking about what can change, what we can do better. And it makes us look at our business and say, how is this going to affect us? Is this going to affect us? What can we do to educate people more about what it is? And when you see a new product, you have to learn everything that you can about it to understand it, right? Instead of just sitting there and being grumpy and angry, like a lot of people. So, what I like about this is that they are eliminating blind bidding, which has been, as you know, big conversation for the entire year. So I absolutely love that because I know that there's been talk about working on that becoming a part of our regulatory process anyways. Like we have to have open bids where everybody could see it. So that aspect is great. Now, what I was reading is that they come in, they appraise your house. So I don't know how they do that. Who is it? If it's just an agent or if it's a professional appraiser that they pay for, that I don't know. But it does say the one thing that interested me was where it says they guarantee you, they give you an appraised price, and that's like the starting price. So they say you're going to at least get that price for your house. So now I find that kind of strange, because the only way that you can do that is if you're going to buy the house yourself as a brokerage or as an agent.
Right.
If you're guaranteeing a price, that means that if they don't get it, you're going to buy it. And I don't think that's a very fair thing to say, but it also must mean that if they don't like that price, then they just cancel the contract.
But it could also be their assessed value of the home too, right? Like a lot of realtors that offer the 100% guarantee will sell your home, or otherwise we'll buy it. It's okay. This is the market value of your home.
Less 10%.
We buy it at 10% less.
So this is where I'm getting. This is where I'm getting to, and that's exactly right. So what it comes down to is that, yes, this is a cool model. Participate, full transparency, book private showing, place your bid online. Watch the ending time, the sale agreements. Do you need a lawyer? Do you need someone to help with pre-approval? So basically what it is, it's a different model, but in my eyes, what it is it's an amazing lead generation tool for the realtors working at Unreserved, because they've got, our team, our property experts will assist you in viewing one of our properties at a time that works for you. Guess what? They're not working with an agent. They see that property. They want to see something else. Maybe they're going to work with that agent. So it's a great lead gen tool. And that's
so is Unreserved owned by a brokerage, or is it privately owned?
That I'm not sure, but it's owned by a guy. He did the first online. What did he do? Where's the information?
Because I just feel like something like that, they'd have to have some sort of license to even be able to discuss the buying and selling process.
Yeah, they would be their own brokerage.
Yeah,
they have to be. So, okay. So the CEO is Michael Ryan O'Connor, and he's, what did he start? eBlock. eBlock was billions of, it's cars online.
Oh, actually.
So it's the guy that started that.
Interesting.
And they list all their properties with Grapevine, which I thought was really interesting. So they're all mere postings listed with Grapevine Realty. So, I mean, that's a cool little sell for Grapevine. And yeah, that's what they're working.
eBlock is basically the same thing for cars, is it not?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. He started that. So I saw they did the first one the other day. It sold for over list, and they did a nice video. They did actually the video was pretty dope. Just like the whole thing, like they're all in the office and she's on the phone going like, "Hey, congratulations, it sold." It's like, Unreserved, the new brand, the new disruptor, just killing it. So, I mean, I wish them well. I mean, it's just a different model, and these things have to happen. So I see it as something that's going to come in. It's going to cause a lot of fuss. There's going to be some complaints, and then it's just going to turn into another thing that's always there. It's just another business. I'm sure some agents might want to go and work with it for whatever reason. Who knows?
It's the same as when Grapevine came out, right? Grapevine Purple
Bricks, any new thing that comes out, it's everything, even Blue Panda. Like when we came out, it's like, oh, what's that? What's this new thing? And it's like, it's not really, it's just something new, man. Let's get over yourself.
Now, do you know what Unreserved's costs for selling are? Like how their model for costing works out?
13%.
I don't know, but they say something like, what does it say on the front here? It said something like, don't pay how a home should be sold. You don't need to pay. Here we go. Yeah. We believe in a better way of doing things. Our vision is to bring full transparency to every aspect of buying process while eliminating 4 to 5% in seller fees. So, I mean, I don't know what that translates to with bottom lines. Again, I'm sure a lot of people are just jumping in, and then there's a little bit of a pitch on how it's being done differently. Again, what I think right now, that the smartest thing that they could do was doing it now, just because it eliminates blind bidding. So for that alone, I think that's going to get our boards off their ass and make them, have things move forward to make sure that that's kind of like the standard in our industry. I think anyways, and I think it should be. It should have been a long time ago. So if it just leads to that, then it's one of those things, right? So what happens if that becomes the normal? Then is Unreserved any different than another brokerage? Not really. So, evolution of real estate business. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, the online auction is certainly, there's going to be some people that think it's been a long time coming and we'll use it instantly. And then there's going to be other people that, even people doing e-signatures is something, really in the last like 3 years that has been globally accepted, which seems crazy, right? When you think of where we're heading. But it's very interesting. I think listing your home and just being able to see the bids would be interesting, but like I feel like as a seller, this definitely favors buyers, right? Because you can see exactly to the dollar, like what other people are bidding, and you can even wait. Like you see the clock; it's like the old eBay. You 10 seconds left. You're sitting there waiting, like, "Okay, 6:10. Wait, click!" You're firing it in last second.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And like I didn't watch the process, but it was all online.
I wonder if you can watch. Can we just watch auctions? That would be pretty sweet.
You can.
We should find one. Find one every Friday. Do the live auction on the tour app.
The one thing that I did notice is that a lot of these homes were recently sold and then bought again or up for sale again. So I don't know what process they're using. I noticed that most of the agents from the previous sale, there was some that were the same. So I'm not sure if Unreserved aligned with some local agents to help find the listings. That I don't know. But
or they could have acquired a few to get the ball rolling as far as
well, that's the thing. So it seems like they bought, I mean, I'll be honest, it seems like they bought a few at a ridiculous amount of money in the last 6 months and are selling them now, some with renos, some the same. I mean, I only browsed through a few, but it seems like it seems risky to me on some of them. Like you bought it, like one of them, it looked like, I think it was sold at $765. And then they had the auction start at 600 and they bought it 3 months ago at 765. So I'm like, okay. So, I mean, even if they make, let's say it's sold for 8, that's 45 G's. Like where's
but I think it's I think it's more so it's hard to show examples in real life of your product and your site if you don't have any listings. So they might have just acquired some properties just to demonstrate what the abilities are. And if they lost a little bit of money, they consider it an investment into the business from a marketing and a startup standpoint.
Coming from a smart businessman, David Warren, that makes complete sense. People do that. No,
I think it's interesting because the real estate industry on the realtor side, there hasn't been, and some businesses do, or brokerages come in to try and disrupt, but it's still very much the same way it's been done for decades. And there's a lot of people, I imagine, like you were saying on the boards, that don't want that to change because of that's disrupting their business, or that they're going to now have to think outside the box or change the way that they or adapt and do business differently, that they're probably scared of how this is going to affect my business, as opposed to let's learn it. Like you said, let's learn about it. Let's adapt my business. Let's maybe take a little bit from this company, a little bit from that company. How do I evolve and maintain?
That's it, man. It's like, I always say, like, why compete when you can collaborate? Like just work together, just do the stuff. It's like, I mean, if you're that concerned and you're that unhappy, you should just do something else. If you can't show value to your clients and the people that you meet, just get out of here. I don't know, I'm being harsh, but that's how it is. Like we work and we show value to our clients, and they continue to work with us because of that. If you don't show that, then they aren't going to come back to you, and they're going to go somewhere else like Unreserved because you didn't do a good job. So all the agents out there that are, potentially crying about this, just get off your butt and do better. Do a better job. Show your value. Get to work and make those contacts and help these people. They need us.
And make sure to listen to Torah.
I'm passionate today. Like Torah.
I think that's great. One thing I wanted to touch on quickly and kind of bring it up. It's completely aside from Unreserved. It just popped in my mind as I wanted to remind people and realtors and buyers out there that there's a new holiday coming up, September 30th. That is a stat holiday, and this year's the first year. So realtors, buyers, do not set closing dates on September 30th. All of the land registry offices are closed, so nothing will be able to close on a
Shit.
purchase. So
I think I have
you
a closing on the 30th.
yeah. So if you have closings on the 30th, move them to the 29th, the day before. The Friday is the first.
Okay.
Probably not the best idea. You might want to move it to the Monday, but because I think a lot of lawyers' offices and banks will be on that Friday sandwich between a holiday and a weekend is always a tricky one. So a PSA to all those out there that might have
information,
that might have anything.
The 29th of September and the 1st of October will be quite busy, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. It provides an opportunity for each public servant to recognize and commemorate the legacy of residential schools. So this was came out on July 20th. So this isn't the first year that we're doing it.
Yeah,
September 30th.
Yeah,
you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Yeah.
So adjust your purchase agreements, Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Actually, that one's with Paul. I think that one's with Paul that closes.
Hilarious.
Yep. Yep. So
as Paul makes a note, a reminder.
Yeah. Note to Greg. So Greg, I know we'll slide into the mood boost here shortly, but I know that you are heading out. Will you be back for next Friday's show? Important question.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, I mean, I can do it from there. I've done it from there before. It's fine. My
onto the mood boost. No.
Let's do it.
Just kidding.
Let's do it. I'll be here. I
love it.
My weekend off starts after this show. So next week I'll be back.
So you're kayaking by 11. Maybe not.
Kayaking
12.
by
12.
Yeah, maybe 4.
Mood boost, gentlemen?
Mood boost.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Go.
All right. I got some good ones. I actually had 6 and I had to bring it down to 4 because I feel like 6 is excessive, but they're all very good. Let's put it that way. Number 1, why should you be nice to your dentist? Because they have fillings too.
Yes, I like this. Yes, I like your jokes.
Number 2, where did the Terminator find toilet paper? I'll be back.
Wow. That was
Number 3. I went to a smoke shop to discover that it had been replaced by an apparel store. Clothes, but no cigar.
Oh, yes.
And last but not least, what did one blade of grass say to another about the lack of rain? I guess we'll just have to make do.
Good.
Wow.
They were pretty good. They were pretty good today.
Yeah.
Tim stepped his game up. 3 out of 4.
It's true. It is 3 out of 4. You're right.
The Stevensons are stepping the game up on the mood boost. I like it. I don't make any of these, by the way. These are all sent to me Friday mornings. So for anyone listening, I don't shoot the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. So, gentlemen, the weekend. Greg, you're heading out. David, long weekend. What do we got planned? Cole's notes. You got 15 seconds each.
Cole's notes, 0. Nothing planned. It's perfect.
I'm personally looking forward to getting back on the pitch tomorrow. My co-ed soccer league is restarting tomorrow. Very excited to just kick the ball around, see some humans, get out in the sun.
Cool.
Yeah. Other than that, same thing. A little R&R. Yeah. What about yourself, Greg? Right. What's happening up at the cottage? Just kayaking and kangaroos?
Got some friends coming up with us. We're just going to hang out, eat some good food, swim, do some kayaking, paddleboarding, play with the kids.
Sounds
just a good old family vacation.
Yes,
good
sir.
Old family getaway.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in and dealing with our crazy minds, our creative crazy minds.
Yeah.
Every Friday we're here at 10 o'clock on Facebook Live. And then we release the edited shows, the new episodes every Tuesday morning, 10 o'clock on your favorite podcast platform, YouTube, the whole 9. And just we're coming up to 50. I think this is episode 46, 45, Stephen, 45. So we'll be rounding out 50 sometime in August, which is exciting. We'll have to do something big for the 50. Just have like 18 guests. Just have a huge forum.
Yeah, that won't be a problem at all. Thanks.
Yeah. What could go wrong? Hey, what could go wrong? Awesome. And lastly, we just want to make a shout out quickly again to North Brew Coffee. They're scattered around town. Take a look out whenever you're, I think Oh So Good has it. There's a few other stores that are carrying North Brew now as well. Saw them expanding out to Perth.
Yeah.
And pop online, northbrew.ca, slide in the promo code podcast, 20% off your coffee.
You don't know what you're missing.
They're doing their part.
People.
They're doing their part. And we got a few mugs left. You know, we're down to the last of them, but we got a few mugs left. So if you want a mug, just send us a DM. Say I want a mug. We'll get it to you.
Yeah, mug me.
Mug me. All right, gents.
Cool.
Enjoy the weekend. We'll see everyone next week.
Much love. Later.
Deuces.
The Ottawa Real Estate Podcast is brought to you by Referral Mortgages, Blue Panda Realty, and Stephen Hopkins Video. Thanks for tuning in, and please remember to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.